ために最も必要なもの、それは運です。
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Project WEBTOONs podcast, coming at you with the latest, hottest out there in the WEBTOON space. Of course, as always, it is me, your big homie, is Sleepy.
This is Arc Dragoon. Sorry, I was waiting for the other one.
Yeah. I mean, we could just wait. We could just look down and see if he'll. Maybe. Okay, not this time. Well, we're gonna play. We'll play a man down for this one. Seraph, our big homie out there, is taking a minor sabbatical. He's got to do some help out with some folks, but we'll have him in for our next discussion. But Arc, you okay? You back up there? He's not coming.
What?
I know how sad you are. He's not coming, but it's okay. I'm still here to talk to.
I'm not sad.
Okay.
I got oranges.
Oh, well. I guess if that's it's good to know that's how easily we can be replaced with oranges. But we got some good stuff to talk on this week. New episodes or new issues there for pretty much everything. Beginning after the end just dropped for me. I just sped read through that. Solo leveling, FFF-Class Trashero, your favorite. Inso's Law, Lore Olympus, Mookhyang, Peerless Dad, Descent of the Demonic Master, and God of Highschool. So plenty to chew on here. If you haven't and you're brand new here, definitely go ahead and click that like button as well as subscribe so you can be updated of all of our latest chapters as they come out. But yeah, I'd say we'd definitely jump into this right off the back, starting off at the top here with beginning after end since it's fresh in my mind right now. So still the...
Hey, you kicked the teacher's ass. You want to be a teacher now?
And this is only day one. This is day one of school. He's starting fights with the other students on opening ceremony day, and day one of actual school, he picks a fight with the teacher.
I think the teacher picked a fight with him.
I mean, tomato here. He knew it was coming. That's why he tried to first off not get into the fight, but people happen to just walk straight into traps, and he's got to take the brunt of it. But yeah, so that I don't even know if I'd call that a fight or even a spar, as much as that was just a cakewalk for him. He completely showed up the teacher.
It was obviously a lesson.
I mean, for who? Exactly. But yeah, so teacher gets completely one-upped. He's embarrassed in front of the class. Of course, he, tries to make it seem like, he wasn't going too hard, or, he just kind of let this occur. But Arthur quickly put him in his place. But we move over from that class to our next one, which we get basically in artificing. What's up? You want to say something?
Is it artificing? I thought it was like mana control.
I thought it was artificing.
No, the mana control is the class he's teaching, right?
Yeah, mana control is the class they were teaching. So no, the next one's artificing because we meet up with another, I'm gonna say, up and coming love interest with Emily, and she easily fits into our spazzy nerdy girl role right away. Having a hard time introducing herself, getting ahead of everything and mixing up her words, but Arthur quickly takes the adult lead like always and kind of brings the conversation to relax. But we learn from this transcribe that she is the one that's responsible for building the projection system that they showed off a few chapters back, and Arthur's completely just taken aback at someone else like him. Someone else out there is knowledgeable of high level technology.
Someone else is also a genius.
Someone else is also a genius, specifically with technology based more so than him, even though all his knowledge comes from a completely other world. But yeah, another person that's probably going to be a good addition to the already growing cast of people he's probably going to need for allies and whatever they end up making, for sure. But before they can even, and funny enough, the class for artifactors that's being taught is also taught by what's his name, the one creepy ass scientist,
The mad scientist.
the
Yeah.
mad scientist that's just completely just obsessed with Arthur and all of the knowledge that he has. But before they can even start the class, a owl appears, and it's a summons for Arthur to go to Good Sky. And as he's going towards the office, we see Princess Catherine come out, and she's just in a pissed off looking mood. And that's when Arthur goes in, sits down, and Good Sky just stares at him. He doesn't know what's going on. He thinks he's in trouble because, of course, first day and he beats up a professor. And instead, it's not. Like I predicted before.
I mean, no, he's still in trouble. It's just a different kind of trouble.
I mean, it's not really trouble in all honesty. You wouldn't see this as trouble from some standpoints. He's now offered the chance to teach the mana control class.
He wasn't really offered a chance. He was coerced into a chance.
The next chapter, she says this isn't a punishment. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it.
With quotation marks, is this what we're going with?
I mean, it's true he doesn't have to, but because the whole idea from him being into the school was he was going to try and have a low cover throughout the the duration, or at least as much as possible. But he blew that up day one by starting a fight, basically showing off the entire school that he's familiar with the student council president, and now beats up one of the professors. Even more so that, when he's talking with Emily, she rattles off like, oh, I'm a nobody. And he goes, you're a nobody? And he's like, that's really strange for a nobody who has no affiliation, supposedly, but is friends with the student council president, friends with the princess of their country, and also has the ability to be a veteran hunter. Yeah, you're really nobody. So, I mean, adding on the fact that, let's add on top, I'm now a, student teacher. Why not just, go that far? It just seems better of a cover for him now. So, yeah, it's not a punishment. As she said, she's doing it potentially as a protection measure as well, because Arthur does seem to attract all kinds of potential irregularities from everybody he meets. But yeah, we get, after he goes through that and, like you said, he's coerced and leaves, we do get a small dialogue between Good Sky and her mana beast, the owl, who at first we see Sylva's straight up scared of that thing. She actually tells Arthur to be fearful of it, that it's more powerful than he actually realizes. But when she's having that discussion with the mana beast and Good Sky, we learn that the owl knows that Arthur's more special than he lets on, and also the true identity of Sylph. He can actually tell that she's a dragon.
Yes.
So, Arthur's secrets aren't as well kept for him as he probably thinks. But it's good to know that.
I mean, he's kind of bad at keeping the secrets. Okay,
if he's bad at keeping the secrets, no one knows that, he does have, that Sylph is a dragon. No one else, not even his own family, has discerned that yet. Only his family know that he's an actual ranked adventurer. I don't even know if Good Sky knows that. She hasn't really made any comment about that either. And he did have a mask on the entire time, but, with the way the chapter ended, clearly, you can't sense murderous intent when it's sitting right in front of you. But yeah, I'll get to that. After that whole interaction, Arthur goes to his next class. I'll skip that part with Elijah because it was just a sad Elijah.
No. It was hilarious.
Oh my god. Right? Okay. Why do you just like watching people fail on their face?
That was funny. Hey, this girl kind of likes me. No, bro. No, she don't. She like me.
You just like watching people fail on their face. Yeah.
I mean, no. This part is important because at least it has it where, like, our main character, he's like, hey, bro. You can do better. All right. Like,
Arthur's
you
an
can do better.
Arthur, right? Arthur B's a bro.
Yeah, at least you know that from here, Arthur's a bro. And he's like, nah.
I mean, how did we not know that from before? from
no,
all
no,
the
we know he is
time
before.
from all the time he spent with Elijah. How do we not notice that before? Come on. You just really need to reinforce this. Yeah, I hate to tell you, Elijah, but you are the second main character. You are the second character. You're a sidekick. I hope you.
He is a sidekick.
I hope you're not happy with that, but you are the sidekick. Yeah. But the next class he goes to, they didn't actually state what the class was. They just said it was a upper class. It was an upper division class, right? I don't think they actually stated what it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't see them state what it was, but it says that he was going to one of the upper division classes, and he runs into two or more members of the disciplinary committee, specifically the captain, or the head leader of the disciplinary committee, as well as the other princess. And she shows up, and of course, as always, Arthur is just chummy with everybody, and she sees it and instantly is pissed off because
there's too many waifus.
There's just too many waifus all over, and she can't handle that shit. But the way the chapter ends off is, it seems like everything's kind of, moving up to get to another class, but now with some of the higher students. And then, of course, all of a sudden, Arthur just clenches his fist, his eyes glow bright, and we get a side panel of him, and then who else but the Wilkes kid just walking through with his just dumbass looking face on, not realizing just how close he is to just catching a dirt nap perfectly. So I didn't know where we would actually see him again. I know that they stated they wanted to get him on the disciplinary committee, but that didn't happen because that would have caused a whole different other ripple effect. But to have him also in this upper class, I kind of want to see the deviousness that we get from Arthur, at least. How he's going to try and show up to this kid, or at least get him in trouble. But yeah, out of those two chapters, anything really big that you want to discuss on?
No, we discussed everything, and then I prevent myself from talking about anything else. So.
Oh, that's because you are further ahead than the rest of us reading the light novel. But the older brother isn't also in the academy, is he? I can't remember.
I thought he was. He was like one of the 7 lights.
Well, he's one of the. I know that he's one of the 7 top tiers, but he was supposed to be a part of this expedition that was going to happen. That's why I didn't know if he
read it that he was a part of it.
Okay, I didn't know if he actually was a part of the academy or if he was a graduate of the academy.
No, I think he's like a senior. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't seen them yet. There isn't really a discernible way to tell between the upper and lower classmen entirely. There's nothing that I've picked out on their clothing or anything that states, one rank to another. Maybe we'll eventually get to that point so we can tell. But yeah, that was the only other person I was kind of wondering when he's gonna potentially run into for just for
you're wondering when shit's gonna go down?
Well, not so much when shit's gonna go down, but just when he's gonna meet that real opposition, because Lucas is trash compared to Arthur in every way. He has no problems dealing with him. He's just figuring out the methodology that he's gonna go with. But I know that the brother is obviously the obstacle that's gonna impede a lot of that. And I'm just wondering, okay, is he rolling around the school, or is he off doing this, preparing for this expedition stuff, and then, he'll show up just before the end kind of thing. Yeah. So, but I just wanted to see if I missed something, and I'm like, no, they're the upperclassmen are just around the corner or something, and we just haven't noticed in the background. But yeah, so I'd say I'm all good on that one. I got nothing else I can think of to talk on. If I had Seraph, I'd probably have a few more things to gush about, especially the all the waifu challenge battles that we're clearly setting up here, especially even Good Sky talks about him being on a first name basis with the other princess.
The main character here is Helen of Troy, basically.
yes, everybody wants a piece. Can we get a fan chapter where it's just all of them just arguing about Arthur in some way? Yeah. But we'll go ahead and we'll move on to our next one here. Since we went to the kingdoms, let's go into the dungeons with the solo leveling and our homeboy. So we are in America now. What's up? We're in America. We are now in the land of the something. Yeah. So this is all up to getting into this basically Hunters Conference that's going down, and Jinwoo's been invited to come to this. And before we actually get to the conference, we're actually seeing some of the other national ranks. I believe he was a national rank hunter that we saw for Germany, if I'm correct.
Maybe, I don't remember.
In the opening chapters, we see another hunter show up, and he saying,
I'll be honest, unless it's like someone like the leader of what group, the American group, I kind of like phase out all the white people because they all kind of just look the same.
They all just look, wow, okay.
No, they're all just drawn the same in there. Like they're all kind of dressed the same. The only difference is like the guild leader who like wears I wear a Hawaiian shirt, so he dresses different. You know what I mean? Like everyone else does. It's not. Everyone is not drawn.
You gotta look at the hairstyles. That's how you tell them apart. Come on, you should know better than this. Yeah. I saw the title underneath and it said he was from Germany, but he while he's walking through the airport and they're getting everyone situated, he actually sees Jinwoo and he's like going to make a beeline to him to make a conversation, and he stops and pauses and he freaks out and he goes, "Can you sense that?" And he's like, and he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, he doesn't summon his shadows from another room, he just carries them, so he's actually able to tell his power is around him.
It's not that he senses it, he sees it, doesn't he? Like he can visually see, like, that guy carries his army around.
He carries an army with him.
Entire time.
He carries an army with him, and he makes the comment, he has an army strong enough to take on the US. So
no one could stop him if they even tried. It's like,
well, at least not the US. Not that no one can, just at least not the US soloing it. But someone else can tell his power right off the get-go. Yeah, so the amount of murder is always in the air, even if he doesn't mean to exude that intention. But the real part of the story here that we're going to try and get to is that after the airport, he's approached by the Hunters Bureau for America to visit their headquarters, and he's wondering why, especially after the comment that they made while he was on the plane about how they were going to release this information about his dad being potentially a monster that broke free from a gate, and now they're offering him like a visit to the bureau and they want to show him something, and of course we already know that it is the dragon, or the very...
No, they wanted to show him, they wanted to give him the item from the dragon.
Well, they wanted to give him the item from the dragon, but he was
like, no, I don't care for that. I just want to see the dragon.
In turn, he says, I prefer, he's like, oh, can I see the dragon instead? Because he doesn't want to take any deals. He doesn't want to take any bribes. There's nothing he cares about. And they bring him down to the chamber, and of course he makes an attempt to resurrect the dragon. Now, this is the one thing that all of us asked about, like, is this possible? Because there's always been a limit on how long a body can be dead before he can try and resurrect. And it's been, 20, 30 years since that battle? So
I don't remember. It's been quite... I thought it was 8 years.
Was it 8 years? It's been a while. But
it has been some time, yeah.
It's been some time. It's been more than the time limit that we've seen him allowed. And he makes the attempt, and the first one is a failure, but the second attempt gains him the actual dragon, and it fully comes out. Now, much like we're told about his shadow ability, it's half the power that it had in real life, but still, compared to his other shadows, it's fully sentient, it can talk, and it even seems to exude its own will. comparable to any of his other ones. And the first thing it does is it recognizes that it's been brought back, and then it sees humans and it tries to attack them right away. The dragon is quelled by him when he tells him that, like, you no longer have to listen to the command to kill humans. The core that was inside you has been removed since long, and they have a small discussion, but he recognizes him as the Shadow Monarch. The ruler of death. So, and they have a miniature discussion, but he basically gives him this other title, like, you're the one of the death, you're the ruler of death. The giants was, I believe, the springer of life?
Creation.
Springer of creation. And he said that there are others like you, and they all have these significant titles. But before, he also mentions that
he belonged to another monarch, which is like the dragon monarch.
Yes, he belonged to the king of the dragons, was his previous master. Now, of course, he doesn't know who that is now currently, because I've been dead for years, but he knows that they're all back, and he knows that whatever the event was prior is now playing out again, but he doesn't get enough time to start to go into that detail before we see him start crumbling away. And of course, like we said before, he makes that comment, it's impossible to, resurrect a spirit that's been dead for such amount of time, but it was good to, return
to serve under
for this moment. And he ends up dissipating and returning to the void, which I think is probably a good thing, because he's already got one dragon. I think if he had this one, this would kind of break that OP level of, okay, like, what is the possible thing for him to face that's going to be a challenge right now, if he has that in his back pocket. Not to mention, I'm sure that he'd be kind of minimal threat number one for every person in the country if he was just walking around with that. But he does get some at least miniature knowledge of the war before and the war that the administrator showed him. So at least has now some names, and he does know that there are, 9 of them? I believe he said 9 kings?
9 monarchs.
Or 9 monarchs. But the dragon did leave him a warning that he should be wary of the people, of the humans around here who are borrowing the power of the kings. I'm not quite remembering entirely, but I know that this is when we were back with the one lady, when she said that he had a power that went beyond the power of a king. I don't, and this is where it's making me wonder. I'm wondering if king is another title for national level, or that's somebody else entirely. But yeah, so more random bits of knowledge that we're getting here and piecing some things together. The entire visit ends. Of course, the Bureau is kind of still freaked. They did just see a giant dragon come back from the dead. But the story moves forward, and it ends up with him back in. He's not in I think he's in the lobby of somewhere, and he's asking where his vice president is. And that's when, they're like, well, some people from the U.S. branch just took him because they were going to, accommodate them or whatever. And they're like, well, that's not supposed to be. We don't know anything about that. It goes into him now, like, they're all scrambling, wondering what happened to the vice president. And that's when, Jinwoo realizes, I did not put another shadow on him after that battle, after I did the exchange. So he's walking around completely unknown of his location, which is unusual for him. But he springs a bunch of his summons to go find him, and the panel ends with our homeboy, the American hunter,
the guild leader from the American Guild.
Yeah, the guild leader being like, you need to find him before Jinwoo does, and we just see a shadow of what clearly is the vice president just bleeding out, and the red eyes of Hungwook, of course, the dude that got stomped by Jinwoo's dad. and it looks like he's taking his sweet revenge on the vice president. So,
no, he's taking revenge because
he's taking revenge because he killed his brother, but also he got the shit kicked out of him by his dad. He's kind of in a real bad mood about his entire family line and friends, regardless. If they're connected to him, he's willing to take it out on anybody. So I think this guy knows he's gonna die, but he doesn't care. I think he's pretty much at the as long as I hurt you.
I think he thinks he still has a chance.
I mean, does he really think that?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
or at least die trying.
I guess. I guess just die trying. I mean, he's seen what this guy can do. He knows he can't match him, so it can't be his idea that he's clear and he's not intelligent. How many
stories have you read where it's like they actually think through? They're like, you know what? I know I can't beat you. No, it's like, you know what? I bet you're just a cocky ass motherfucker. You're like, dude, you saw what I did here. What you really? Yes. I guess I'll kill you now. Like, that's how that goes.
I mean, we've seen plenty of stories like that. We've also seen plenty of stories in which it's like, no, I know I can't win. I'm just doing it to hurt you a little bit. That's all I care about. And he obviously knew that he couldn't take him on. That's why he went after the vice president, willingly knowing that I'm going to catch more shit, because even if I survive, even if he gets rescued and Jinwoo doesn't kill me, my own guild leader's probably going to. So it seems like he's in, just a straight up shootout kind of straight up shootout mentality at this point. He's
told you, die trying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't care. He knows he's probably going to. So that's why he's like, well, as long as I hurt you at the end of the day, I'm good with what I've put out here. But yeah, so it tries to end itself on a little bit of a cliffhanger there. I don't see the VP getting killed, just because I feel like he's still got quite a bit of importance to the story. And granted, I don't know, that previous chapter with his dad, could that be considered a death flag? Because he just got he just got his dad back from the supposed incurable sickness, and now this is happening. So that seems like it's a potential death flag. But yeah, that's all I had on that one. Let's going through it all. Is there any questions you had? Any speculation?
No,
none. Really, not a single thing.
I'm good.
Next time I should bring some flashcards of just the random characters that are all from America and see if you can tell me their names.
I'm gonna be like,
or if you can tell the difference, or if you can tell the difference, you'll be like, that's that same guy.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. It is hard for me to remember fucking names. All right.
What's your name?
So.
What's my name?
What?
What's your name? What's my name? Who's missing?
You're obviously.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. See.
Okay. I feel so good about myself right now. Moving on before I. Yeah.
Unless you have a name tag that I can read all the fucking time, I'm not gonna remember your name. That's how that goes.
Please don't have children. Anywho, moving on.
I'm going to be the uncle. I don't have kids.
Moving on here, from the dungeons of soloness to a terrible world of trash. We're gonna go with the FFF-Class hero here.
The true power of friendship.
You just wanted to blurt that out loud.
Oh man, I suspected this was going to happen, but man, this was so much better reading it.
I mean, we knew at the end of the day that he was going to get the dragon. Like, come on, it was already told us that he needed to show the sword to the dragon because it would explain something. And the dragon is pure chaos. Why would it not end up with him getting the dragon? In all honesty.
He is chaos now. He's both light and dark. It's the greatest thing.
He's both light and dark. Oh god. He is the balancer.
Yes.
Just the worst kind of hero sometimes.
I mean, he is. He is an absolutely terrible person.
I mean, as long as you're acknowledging it for once.
You know I'm going to acknowledge that he's a terrible person.
Are you? You've been pretty high on it the other direction, but yeah.
No. Just because I think that he's in the right, as in like they should have just sent him home and none of this would have happened. All right. That still doesn't mean I don't even
think sending him home would have not caused this to happen at all. I think he still would have been as fucking wild and crazy all over. just because of the way he's acted. So
no, it would have been wild and crazy because we know that people who left will return eventually.
Well, yeah, they return.
Right? And he would be like, all right, I did not sign up for a second motherfucking time. Leave me the fuck alone. See, that's what would happen.
Yeah. So the Chaos Dragon is in hand, the sword, and a new level of divinity plus darkness or chaos has been unlocked, and Kangso is on his way now to the Angel Stronghold.
Yes.
After annihilating the town as well, and leaving behind both the Elf King and Princess to either prepare for whatever the next festival or whatever he told them to do.
No, because the way the events happen here is the festival is somewhere earlier in the timeline of the world that you go to defeat the Demon King. That's why the dragon is younger. That's why the elves are like dark elves, and that's why they hate humans later, because that's why when he leaves he tells the Elf King, he's like, hey, make sure your descendants don't hate humans, because that's why I'm gonna kill them later.
They're pieces of trash.
Yeah, they're pieces of trash.
Okay, yeah. I was kind of wondering what he meant there for a little second, but yeah. So he at least left the world in a better position to become nicer later. I don't know.
In theory,
he's left a crater of destruction behind him. But he's on his way now to the Angel Sanctuary, and he is going there to kill everybody. Or he's trying to look for something. I don't know.
He's going there to loot.
Oh, he's just going there to loot.
Because
that's where all of the.
He asked. He's like, "Hey, where's all the rest of the cool stuff? Oh, it's locked up there with the angels." All right, want to go get the fucking angels? That's what you want too, Dragon, right? Yeah, let's go. Like that's, and then he picks up his like celestial battery. That's his girlfriend now. He's like, yeah, let's go. Maybe I can hold on to you. Nah, just hold on right there.
I don't even know what Professor Morales is doing anymore. Granted, I don't think that
he showed up.
I know she showed up, but she gave him like just stern warning once more, and I feel like this is slowly leading into potentially another reset for him, regardless of what he's doing.
I feel like he's at the point where he's accepted it anyway. So like, no, I'm already here anyways. Like, so if you were to send me home, you would have sent me home already.
This is just church in the endless amount of times trying to correct the future from Red versus Blue.
Yes.
Just what happened to you? I don't want to talk about it. Okay. I mean, they've given him no other choice really to kind of get out of this world, and they're not really giving him a path on what he can or should do, so he's just kind of burning everything he sees in sight, because what are they going to do to him that's any worse than this? In all honesty. And I don't know about is she just she's called she's substitute teacher, or what does he call her?
You mean Navi?
Yes, basically Navi.
I don't remember what he calls her.
I can't remember what he calls her. But
he calls her friend.
Well, he doesn't call her names.
Quotations.
I guess. He doesn't call her horrible names, and she's clearly naive to exactly how evil he is, too.
I don't know if she's naive, or is this like all part of this weird plan?
I don't know, because she seems to be going along with it pretty easily, even though it's like, you just watched him destroy an entire town of adventurers. You saw him basically enslave
Because
a bunch of
she is really ready to be like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna be there next time too. It's fine. Like, and like she's not like Professor Morals, who's like pulling her fucking hair out. Like, oh my gosh, we can't stop him. And like this one's just, Navi is just like, no, I'm just here for the ride now. This is whatever.
she just doesn't care. She just sees the insanity and she accepts it. And she's just like, whatever, let it happen as it may occur. Maybe they'll earn me something. I don't know.
Can you stop this shit? No? Well, we ain't stopping it, so it's fine.
No birds on this train. Yeah. I don't know wherever the hell the story is going right now. I'm not even sure what his goal is anymore, outside of just kill everything and everyone. You know, it's not like he's made it any more closer to getting to the gods themselves. I don't even know if the angels are a representation of the actual gods that control things, or if they're just a part of the world that he's in.
No, they're just part of the world.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, it's not seemingly getting any closer to like...
His goal is to do it like anything else in any other RPG. Loot, loot, loot. That's all it is.
I mean, I do other things in the RPGs besides loot, loot, loot.
No, you gotta min-max. That's what that is.
Those are looter shooters. Well, I mean, how do you min-max? He's already pretty much got the best stats.
He hasn't reached SSS, Forbidden S, Mystery S.
What the? There must be something beyond the S. Oh God, yeah. Oh, but anywho, anything else on this one chapter we got from Triple F? Do we want to see him cause even more mass genocide? Or maybe he'll find like the true god inside the tower or something?
I have no idea where the fuck this is going, honestly. The only thing
I'm kind of surprised that you haven't...
was him getting the dragon, but I was not expecting the power of friendship with the dragon. I was just like, oh yeah, he's just going to get the dragon to like go up and do stuff with him. No, it was like, no, we share one mind, okay? Like, you and I think alike. We both have the same goal, which is to fuck those angels up. And I was like, man, this I was not expecting this. I was expecting part of this.
What were you expecting?
But this went like a step further than I thought it would go. Here, let me prove to you that I know what the power of friendship is. Through revenge.
This is what happens when the power of friendship is used by the dark.
Yes.
I guess Jackie had the right idea. All right, we'll go ahead. We'll move on to our next one here. From one classroom to another with Inso's Law. We only got one chapter in between here from the break, but still a nice one. More lay down on the previous incident with our homegirl Dana standing up to the newest bully in her pathway, and one of the kings, after she'd already left and been taken away, one of the kings basically throwing off that, you know, this girl,
mask.
What's up?
His mask.
Well, yeah, like the puppy dog is, he calls her mom, but he, as I said, he is probably the one out of all of them that is the most dangerous, because the amount of evil underhandedness he's willing to go to if anyone hurts her is far above and beyond. And it shows here once again when he basically lays out this entire plan for the bully here, when she basically tries to confess that, you know, she's sorry, and he basically rejects the apology. Like, you think that actually gets you off the hook. No, you this is not how it ends. And he reverses what she said to Dan I about, you know, maybe it would be better if you left the school. You know, I'll try and stop rumors from spreading, but, you know, you'll be able to go somewhere else and start completely fresh. And he gives her the same offer, and she kind of answers back like, as you expect one of the rich kids for this kind of story. You know, she answers back, do you know who I am? What makes you think that you can talk to me like that? And, you know, no one will believe you, or everyone will find out that, you know, you're a thief and you read people's messages. And he just goes, that's fine. I don't care. Plus, do you not know who I am? I'm one of the four kings. Everyone loves me. Who would they believe? over this, and he shows off the skills of how good he is at like setting someone up to feed into the rumors if he wants to. And yeah, just this cold calculated plan of just destroying her down, of either destroying her or giving her the chance to leave, to make the whole place safe for her.
Not just leave, she has to admit her fault.
Oh yeah, she has to admit fault. Well, that's if isn't that if she decides to stay? Or is he telling her you're going to admit that you did this?
Because he's like,
because I thought he said you have to.
He's like, regardless if you admit or not, I'm going to release the information that you did this anyways. So that's what that was.
I thought he said that he was going to release it if she didn't do anything or if she tried to retaliate in any way. And I think the only thing he wanted her to admit was that she created the chat room.
Yes.
But she could do that and then just leave, and nothing else terrible would happen to her, at least within his power. But he would 100% damage her reputation if he did. And not to mention, it's like, I don't know why you would think it'd be wise to even attack one of the four kings, just because they all run as a group and all their families have veritable connections and powers. And I'm pretty sure the way that a lot of these novels work, you never want to fuck with those people, because it's like, well, your family so-and-so works for them in some way. Do you really want to do this kind of thing? But yeah, just a satisfying final end to that entire just arc of underhanded deception, and just to get it nice and cleanly cut off with a homeboy there. Danai is with one of the other kings, just walking.
Blondie.
With Blondie. Is it blonde? I thought he was
he's blonde.
Okay.
I mean, that's blonde, right?
I don't know, because Ruda's hair is blonde. His hair is white.
Fine white hair.
Or gray.
Silver, gray.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know.
Main character hair.
Main character hair, I guess. Yeah, they're just walking back to her place, and she just breaks out crying after he basically talks to her for a little bit, and they understand that she's been keeping all of this in once more, and you left that comment of must protect. And yeah, they very much do that. I'm pretty sure that they'll still keep a lot of this information, at least from Euro Yang, because I know that she will pretty much go and kill somebody. She's made that comment more than once, that she's willing to murder somebody for Danai, not to mention each one of the kings.
She's like, do I have to stab a bitch?
I mean, she's already suplexed one, so it's not far out of her realm. But a nice end to the conclusion of this and this small arc. I think that'll end off, at least for this situation. We're still waiting more about everything from Ruda and that, and this. Remind me if I'm incorrect. This bully that was on Danai isn't the same girl from the bus, right? No,
she's the same girl.
Is it?
Yes.
She's the one that called Euro Yang on her phone and told
her
that. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. I was like, I swear.
She's the same girl.
Okay. I thought I was like, okay, there's two. There's another separate set of bullies running around. We just haven't gotten to that one. But okay, so just off a bit on that one in my head. But yeah, happy that that this arc is finally out of the way. We'll see what the next new trial comes in. I don't know if we'll focus back in on the Ruda and Danai relationship, or we still now have the relationship between White Hair King and her as well, since he's told her his feelings, but she didn't believe them. I don't know if any of the other ones are going to try and make any outward comment or move about that, but yeah, still a few more things to kind of wrap down and get through that we have going around here. But any comments on that one chapter there?
No,
none. Would you have changed anything about that, or
no.
Like to see anything? No. All right. Well, we'll go ahead. We'll move on here to our next one. Since one lady, we'll go to the next with Lore Olympus. You wanna regale us here now with these two chapters we got?
I'll be honest. I'm reading ahead, so I think it's a blur to me right now.
You're reading ahead. You're reading ahead.
Yeah. So
you couldn't wait?
I do it occasionally for like the ones I like to support for this, like if I can a webtoon. So like at this point, I'm a little bit ahead, and I don't remember where we're at. That's what it is.
I did that too a little bit, but well, we've already got through.
We got the kiss, right?
We already got through the kiss. We got through the actual like exchange of feelings, as well as Persephone finally building up the courage to speak to Artemis about her brother. And yes.
Are we at the part where we we meet Artemis and Apollo's mom, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
okay,
first we're with once again, what's his name? Aphrodite's son, Eros. Where Eros, they're just doing some just archery contests or training. I'm not 100% sure, but he's talking to basically the woman that he loves, but she's masked as an imp. And surprisingly enough,
nymph, not an imp.
Oh, sorry, nymph. Surprisingly enough, it seems that everyone else can tell except him.
I don't understand. It's not like she looks any real different besides she's like, oh yeah, I got nymph ears now.
I got nymph ears and my skin color's changed a bit and I may have some scales, you know.
How do you not see this?
I mean, Hades made the best comment about it. He's like, yeah, the love gods are very good at discerning and breaking down other people's problems. They're not very good at doing it on their own. So it kind of seems like it's pretty effective because they're just blind to their own internal issue. But yeah, that just goes into just the shooting contest that he starts having, and that's when we see Apollo show up. And I'm not 100% sure why he's there, but they start just basically jockeying each other, trying to figure out who can shoot the arrow better than one another. And that's when Artemis shows up and just straight up starts yelling at him. And she's demanding answers. She wants to know why her best friend is telling her that, she hates him. And he, of course, just the face of, oh shit, I'm not sure what to say, but he spins everything to his exact way that he wants, that, he was kinder, blah, blah, blah.
You came on to me. It's not my fault.
Yes. I'm the victim here, really. It's rumors being spread, and now, it's because, she's trying to be...
Who do you believe more, your brother or some hoe? Basically what he was trying to say. And she was like...
Well, it's not even that him saying it. He's trying to spin it in a way, but then out of nowhere their mom shows up, and she's the one that says that.
Yeah.
When she's like, who would you believe? Somebody that you've only known for a couple of weeks, or your blood relative? But yeah, I don't know why I don't remember so much of any of my Greek mythology. When their mom showed up, I completely forgot that, but she is a Titaness.
She doesn't play a very big role in the stories. She plays a role as in like.
I mean, even minor little mini knowledge always is good.
Stories, not her own.
Yeah. But yeah, just her appearing out of nowhere and then basically going in. Out
of nowhere, she is. She is absolutely in her right to not like the gods. Okay, she's like what they did, and like if it's following actual Greek mythology with like what Hera did to her. She is absolutely in her right to not like Hera, okay?
Well, I mean, they do bring up that something happened because she said before her and Hera were friends, and then something occurred, and Hera basically banished her.
They were friends, and then Zeus fucked her, and then she was pregnant, and then Hera's like, "Fuck you, Zeus, and fuck my friend here, all right?" And then they did this thing where like Hera made it so, because Hera is the the goddess of fertility, right?
Yeah.
So Hera went to go talk to the goddess of birth, and he's like, hey, so and so, she can't have kids on like any sort of like land on Earth. Okay, so then when she was about to give birth to Artemis and Apollo, she had to go find a piece of land that was not touching the Earth. It was like a floating piece of island, like just a floating piece of rock, and that's how like they bypassed it. But even then, like, this is one of the reasons why she's like, no, I like, you know, I thought Hera was my friend. It's not my fault that like Zeus is like can't control his shit.
Can't keep his shit in check.
I got raped by Zeus, and then Hera like took her
took her out on me.
So like again, it's all Zeus's fault. So like, you know, it's how it is.
I mean, Zeus, his kids, so many. He's bad at this. He's just a very bad person in all of mythology. Yeah, but in here at least it seems that her punishment is that she's not allowed to show her appearance. So she's always veiled, except for you can kind of see her eyes, but she's always veiled. I don't know if that is the reinterpretation of what the previous punishment was, or if there's going to be more to it, and we'll figure out as it goes on, because it does end with her basically making a promise that she's going to go talk to somebody about the situation. And I believe he said she was going to go talk to Zeus, or was she going to go speak to Hera?
No, she's not going to talk to Hera. I don't remember who she said was going to talk to, but I think she said she might say something to Zeus about it. Maybe?
Yeah, she was going to go speak to somebody about the So I don't know what deeper importance she may have, because outside of why can't I think of her name right now? Not planet goddess, not Gaia, the other Titaness.
Demeter?
Yes, outside of Demeter, she's one of the few other, you know, freely walking
Titan.
Yeah, like, and you know, they're usually one of the few beings that don't really give a two shits what Zeus says, because they're like, I've been here longer than you, boy. I can take you on if I truly want to. But yeah, so I don't know if she may either go to him, or she's probably got somebody else she may speak to about this. Oh, I think she said she was going to go talk to Hades.
Was it?
I think. I got to take a look again, but I think she said she might go down there. I'm sure she's probably not afraid to go down there as much as any of the other gods. So,
I mean, of course she wouldn't be, but I don't remember if she was going to go talk to Hades.
I'll take a look again, but
she just said I should go pay a visit to the underworld, but she doesn't say she's going to go talk to Hades.
I mean, out of any other people she talked down there to, I think it would be her, because we know that Demeter is busy.
She might go down there and like take Persephone. Because I'm just looking right now, it looks like Apollo is like venting to his mom about like, oh yeah, Persephone is just mad at me right now, right? And then he goes, oh yeah, she's just spending time with Hades to make me jealous, basically. And Hera won't help me, so his mom is like, oh well, then I'll go take care of it, right? Like, I'll go down to the underworld, and we don't know what she's gonna do yet. So
we don't know yet, but yeah, I would guess like maybe she'd either speak to Persephone, or she'd talk to Hades and strike a deal or something in some manner to potentially get Persephone to come back, as she thinks she's doing the proper correct thing. But yeah. Yeah, just out of those two chapters, enough to chew on. I haven't read ahead. I've been trying to keep myself under control with that as much as possible, because I will jump as far chapters ahead. I've already done it with the Boxer right now. Currently, I'm 5 chapters ahead of where they're at, and yeah, I don't know if you've read that far ahead, but
no, I usually just do like 2 chapters ahead if it's that bad.
I really wanted to see what happened. It was so good.
I mean, yes, but
it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
But getting back on topic here. So, more goddesses more than anything are showing up now, and we've got quite a few things.
Also, just so you know this, even though there are like more gods and titans or titanesses showing up, more characters that show up, each of them are still at least like have some sort of original design where I can distinguish one from another. So I'm fine with this.
At first, I thought that was Hera, like just in another form potentially, because outside of the eye glow, she kind of looks similar.
No, I mean, yeah, she's yellow in skin, yeah, so she looks like she's similar, but at least her clothes are different.
But her clothes are,
you establish that she's a different character.
Yes, yeah, they do. The artist does go to good pains to actually distinguish characters from one another, even the servants, the nymphs and everything, so that they look somewhat different from one another, so we're not completely like, is that so and so or is that who and who. But yeah. Hopefully with the way that this is kind of diverting our previous guess with Apollo and Daphne doesn't come true. Or it could be something else.
You don't want something miserable with
I
Daphne?
really
like,
don't.
Someone deserves at least some
sense of like, oh good, she saw the jerk for what he was and completely moved away. It's all that at the end.
She doesn't fucking die. That's what you want to say, right? Like, no, she doesn't die.
Well, okay. I mean, I can even see it slightly being brought up just because Eros and Apollo have a clear anger hatred for one another, and we even see
that's because Eros knows the truth. Like he
does,
the truth.
But like, I'm sure he didn't like. I'm sure even prior to that he didn't like Apollo, and the fact that they were showing off his bows, and he even brings out the one about this bow will do certain things, if shot at somebody, and I'm just like, okay. I hope this is not.
We're setting up things
for later.
We're not
setting it up, and I hope we're not setting this up for what it potentially could be. But yeah, so 2 good chapters. Ready for some more. I want to see what this plan is that Mom has for either getting Persephone or performing whatever deal that she's potentially going to be working on. I kind of want to see what Zeus is doing right now, since he's just been fuming upstairs since Hades pretty much told him, yeah, as long as she's in my realm, you're not touching her. So, yeah. Anything else on those 2 chapters, though?
No.
Nope. All right. We'll go ahead and move here from One Lady of Light to One Lady of Darkness with Mookhyang. How much did you like another double cross?
Another double cross? Quadruple cross? Is that it? Like, man, I'll be honest, it's not because like it's just a little bit of information that no one was paying attention before, but like when it was brought up as soon as this quadruple cross happened, I was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. Like why was all this stuff happening? Oh, because there was a quadruple cross all along. And I was like,
wait. If you were truly paying attention.
Yeah, if you had paid attention to all the details, you would have known.
All the details, all the random army appearing, the sudden change of alliances, the newly acquired friends, the entire battle and a stalemate, the supposed new Titan units, all of that, and this very one minor line that this character says.
This one line that was said way early on, before any of this went down, you would have known that she was a traitor all along. You're like, wait, what? I was like, oh man, I was not paying attention. That's what happened.
Why would we think that one insignificant line would be the reasoning catalyst for this entire thing to go out the way it did? Yeah. So we did learn that the
priestess?
The priestess is the one who was double crossing, but the reason that they were being held, or at least not able to escape so quickly and get reinforcements, was because the barrier that she was supposedly putting up was actually a more or less protection spell to keep them away.
Yes. And
she's overpowered by their army's mages and very quickly killed.
Yes.
As I don't remember her title, exactly, but I believe she's the commander of the army.
I thought she was she's one of the princesses, isn't it? Of the, or I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that
is she just a commander? I'd have to look.
I believe I believe she may be a royalty figure, but she's also a commander of the army, because it starts up with her killing the priestess, her explaining why they were having such trouble getting there, and then she turns to the neighboring army, who is basically laying down the law that they are taking dragon parts.
She was like, hey, we found a spy. They're like, what? You found a spy? He goes, yeah. Was it one of yours? He goes, I have no idea what you mean. Well, if it was one of yours, then we have fucking problems. Nah, it's not one of ours then. And they just walk away. And
it wasn't so much that it was just that. It was like, hey, I showed up here. You're attacking my men and my boat. Why are you doing that? And they're like, well, they're transporting something illegal that they got on our land, and you're breaking this deal that we supposedly have. And they're going, how would you know that? All I see is them bringing a shipment of something in that we paid for, and you're attacking us for no reason. And I just killed this person that was a spy. Do you know who this spy is? And they're like, well, no, we don't know. Well, then how do you know? Well, then that's weird, because if this isn't your spy, how would you know that we have anything illegal that we're taking? And
you know what? We're just not going to mess with this. You go away. Just go.
using that strong diplomatic training and stance on that. As it's like, hey, we can solve this as we want peacefully, or we can just fight. And do you think you can take me on? No? Okay. Yeah, so...
Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?
Or the fun way? Yeah. So, the cargo of the dragon has been secured by the other country. That problem has now been solved, and we have a dead priestess. I believe Dark is still watching the Titan battle go down as they continue to kind of throw their weight around.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just observing all of this as it happens. Now, I don't know if they will do another transportation spell to move to this other battlefield or whatever not, since it's 3 different armies all in this fray right now. Because I know the knights, or they're not the Templars. I'm trying to remember, but the one church's knights are off in the distance. Dark and the one Gosu guy and his military, and then the prince's military, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I got all of those individual factions in the right order. So.
And then we have the religious group, right?
The religious, which one?
The one from that one religious country.
No, I said that. Those were the knights.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, okay.
The church's knights are off in the distance. They're watching all of this go down as well. Yeah. So conflict. Fight. Observe. Dead priestess. Okay, that's everything I think we got from this amount of the story so far. A lot of different information dumps that I'm kind of hoping that they will review at some point here. They're
kind of reviewing it, because like with this little bit reveal that we had a traitor amongst everything, it kind of just it explains enough where you're like, oh, okay, this cleans up this bit. Like, what happened here? Okay, cool, I get it.
Well, the one question is was she a traitor for one of the other factions that's fighting right now, or is she a traitor for somebody else?
She was the traitor. She was one of the traitors for the one of the religious countries.
Okay. So
that's why when the commander shows up, she's like, "So who's your god?" And they're like, "Oh, not your god.
Not the god you serve." Okay, so she's working with one of the church country. Is the one country and the Gosu guy now friends of Dark's, or are they still on the level enemy?
They're not enemies, but they're not friends. He's not killing them yet.
I mean, he was very close to killing the one guy. It was pretty high on the list, but I think that's changed after Homeboy showed up and he's just like, it's all right now. Granted, you know, they sent assassins after him when he was in his home country, so I don't know how this friendship wheel works for Dark, actually. If you try to kill me, it's okay. As long as you later acknowledge that I am more powerful than what you thought were friends, or at least, you know, acquaintances. Yeah. Still waiting for just the end of this conflict to occur, so either we get a move on to whatever kingdom that we've got these other guys from, and either they're gonna host off Dark, or they end up getting captured in some way. I don't know. The battle seems pretty evenish, because I think the Titans that the one dude brought out are specially designed to take on the ones from the other kingdom, or at least they're higher class than they thought they were. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll have to see how that battle entirely plays out. It's probably going to end in a retreat for somebody. But yeah, still excited to see what comes from all of that, because I do want to, like, at one point have a discussion just with how much that we've learned, at least from some of the countries, you know, what we've seen, and, you know, all of these new
you need a diagram to break this down.
I kind of like, yeah, like, I want you to, like, I need someone, like, we need to sit down and point out, like, okay, who's on whose team right now, because it seems like there's so many people that are just messing with other people, because even Dark is like, I'm playing for this team, but not really, because they just offered me resources in a place. That's the only reason why I'm here. I will defect so hard if I get what I want or find a pathway to it. So yeah, I feel like a minor breakdown of all of that would be very lovely. Anything else on that chapter though for Mookhyang?
No.
All right. Okay, well, let's go hear from the lady to the dad in the Peerless Kind. You want to take this one with Brother Now and the situation that just keeps on evolving?
Well, Brother Now is kind of trying to escape the weird, what? It's like
life
free for all. Yeah, it's free for all, right?
It's literally turned into Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's like, guys, everyone wants to get this medicine that can prolong your life. And he's just like, no, I don't want to be a part of this, please. Let me just get away. And then, you know, as he gets away, and then, like, the pouch with the pill just pops in front of him. He's like, no, please, anywhere but here. But then apparently one of his, like, mercenary bro shows up. He's like, let me kick this shit away. Hey, bro. He's like, come with me. And you're like,
what?
That was no transition there, but okay, I guess.
Well, it was just like, the writer was just like, I have no way to get him out of this situation. New brother shows up.
I have to introduce someone new. This is how I'm gonna do it.
This is how I get them out of the situation and introduce a new character at the same time. Perfect. All right, go. Yeah. I just was like, I thought that at some point he was gonna end up having to reveal himself just so that she didn't get seen and maybe fight a little bit, or, you know, do something. But for just the brother to show up from nowhere and just be like, I've been here all this time. Okay, moving on. We can get away from this situation. Yeah, I did not at all see that really coming in any way.
And then we have the scene in which, like, the two old twins are walking away as they realize they're talking about, like, oh yeah, hey, the two sons are doing really well. They've already got to this point without our help, right? And then the old man master of the sister shows up. He's like, I knew it was you two. And you're like, oh shit, old man fight.
And they ended it right there. I didn't want that. I wanted them to no, throw a blow. At least one starting fight, one start to this battle. I just hope this doesn't end with them, like, skipping it, and then we just see, like, the bloody trail left behind, and then the old man walking away.
No, you want to see like a Mortal Kombat?
I want to see the Mortal Kombat level fight here. This dude has been walking around with so much demon energy. I want to see what he can do. He's already brought 8 heads in a duffel bag to somebody. Why can't we see the true master that he actually is? And I just want to see someone just go all out like that, especially since we're already seeing like one finger god killing people with the power of gun, and the fisherman group, which I'm guessing either they're showing off these people because they're going to probably come up later on in some way.
Maybe.
I mean,
it's also like, world building, so
this is
like
true too.
Everyone's power level is.
I mean, this is
so
true too.
You understand that, like, we always knew that, like, that,
there are other deadly high level warriors outside of
that like now is not the strongest, but he is still a high tier warrior. It's just that we just now know where, like, there's still like grand, like, masters beyond 81's comprehension at this point. Yeah.
Yes, there are other grandmasters in other forms around the world that now cannot contend with, and even he, quickly bends the knee to those that he's heard the stories or legends of.
It's the 5 fishermen. Oh shit! Right? Like, you're like, oh man, what did these 5 fishermen do that they can have? Like, that's the kind of story you hear. You're like, there's the 5 fishermen. You're like, 5 fishermen? Like, what the fuck do they do?
What nonsense story do they have that makes them so deadly?
Oh.
I think the troll with the club thing was easy to kind of tell. It's like, oh, I get what you do. I know what your story is. Yeah. The Superman uncle story all over in that battle. Yeah. So that was 2 chapters. 2 chapters of just more of a very odd introduction setup to a very wanted showdown at the very end of that.
Yes.
So I'm happy with what we got. I just hope that we get that fight. I just want that fight. Yeah. Nothing else really came up out of that, because I mean, the last couple of chapters have just been now trying to get out of that situation, and it just developing worse around him. But now he's out of it, and now we've transitioned into the city. So, I don't know if the twins will actually get dealt with, since I believe the dad said he was going to like go after them
if they did anything without his permission.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, which they did. They left. He basically, they weren't supposed to. So I don't know if he's going to make an appearance too, and that could turn it even to a bigger clash, because we know that now is met with him as well, and he is far exceeding his ability that we now can confirm, and it's not just now telling the story. So we'll have to see. There's still a lot of other story bits in here that we haven't gone back to. I know we haven't heard any more from the college. We haven't learned anything more about Sister and her retirement. I know that the boys have still continued training, but none of them have taken on a true master yet, but their powers are already well rising above their probably age and station. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get a touch of that, and we'll get introduced. Oh, I believe he gave the brother's name, but we'll get further introduced to like what his role was in the bandit group, and he'll probably be joining up with Ak in his situation, since the crime underworld is trying to reclaim its spot from him. I believe they're still slowly inching their way back up.
Yeah, but they also realize that whoever's in charge knows, like,
how to deal with stuff. Well, they know what they're doing, and they're not openly, making moves to out themselves. So they know that they're probably gonna have to play the long game. And Ak very much seems like he's either setting a trap.
No, they had to like, hey, we'll send an assassin, and Ak is like, ha.
Yeah, he clearly seems like he might be setting a trap for something. So either way, anything else on that one chapter there, or those 2 chapters for Peerless Dad? Nope. Nothing else. All right, we'll go ahead and move on here over into the Descent of the Demonic Master. We are freed from the rubble of the tunnel. Didn't really take long to heal, at least not for our homeboy.
No, he's not fully healed.
Well, he's healed enough. I mean, comparable to what he was before. Yes. He's walking around. He's able to, he has full range of motion again. But the real damage came to our lady friend, as she is having basically PTSD. psychological trauma from the whole situation. And I do like that we didn't jump, like, right after that ended, we just did a quick hospital scene and then jumped straight into revenge. We actually slowed down right after that, and we actually have him and her talking, and, like, her discussing, like, he goes to see her, and she's trying to still act as, like, everything's kind of okay, like, the situation wasn't as damaging as the doctors actually even told Jinho that it was. And he doesn't notice it at first. She's just like, hey, you're gonna, come visit me, or, like, stay the night, sleep here, because I can't sleep with the lights off. And it makes sense. They were trapped for, 2 days under the bridge. But when he leaves, he can, like, hear her talking that, she's still terrified, and, it's just really messed with her. And it's nice that they at least, like, showed that reflection that, it's not something that they just brush off. Oh, he saved the day, everything worked out, she's gonna heal up and she'll be fine, and they'll move the story on. But gives a nice solid reason for why Jinho is going to be as pissed as he is, and truly is when he leaves the hospital and gives a call over to the secretary and the other gang leader, and basically they know he's coming, because or at least the one lieutenant does, right? He says he in a dialogue to himself, he says he knows that he survived, but the one leader doesn't believe he has, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he knows he's coming, and he's excited because he wants to see at least what he can do. But both swords, breaks down the front gate, straight up just announces his presence there. One of the guys comes out, states, "Who the hell are you? What are you gonna do with those swords? There's nothing you can do here." Slashes that guy from a distance, and they're like, and then he's just like, "It's just you? What do you think you're gonna do with just you?" And then we just get the surrounding of the perimeter with all the gang members. Like, no. You're trapped in here with him. Yeah. It's still you and you. It's still you and him. But you're trapped in here with him, and you're not gonna get out. So whatever happens, it's all happening now. Do we see the similar bloodbath that we got from the ninjas, or do we see something more violent now?
Because they're all gonna die anyway.
Well, I think they're all gonna die, but I'm wondering on the actual visual of it, because that's been the one thing that we've gotten from this webtoon, is that they don't hone in on the violent level part like we would get from a lot of. I
don't know.
Because this seems like it would be a very poignant point for him to, like, make this known to all of the other enemies that you do not fuck with my friends. And
you do not fuck with these people, because I will fuck you up.
Here's the bloody wall that I left behind to prove. I'm just wondering if will actually be more than just, like, a chapter of just straight fight violence and then the end. But
I don't know. We'll see.
Do we see?
It's not like they're actually can put up any sort of real fight. It's just that he is still slightly injured, so we'll see.
There's nothing to say that this seems like this be the best chance for them to be able to put up a fight. He's slightly injured. They're not below using weapons or explosives. So it just goes to show, like, how far they're willing to go, because Their orders are, you're supposed to kill him, you haven't, and surprisingly enough, the king hasn't shown up and just like murdered all of you for failing. But I'm sure that this is not going to look good on any level. Granted, I'm sure the association will take care of the news so no one finds out about it, at least in the public eye. But to have him to go as far as destroying a bridge, have him survive, and then come to your home base and annihilate all of you.
I mean, that's not a good look no matter what. So
that's what I'm saying. You know, like, how do you want to show this all the way out exactly? Is what I'm wondering. I'm ready for a full warpath of Jinho all over this the standoff gang, since they've been pretty much etching him this entire time, just constantly pushing him and messing with his family. And surprisingly, he even let this go as long as it did, because, you know, his sister, his parents' shop.
No one was in direct danger yet, though.
I mean, the one lady got killed. Granted, he didn't know her closely, but she got killed. And then his sister got kidnapped. I mean, I would say that's probably pretty close danger to that point. But I mean, the bridge should have been, that shouldn't even been a line that they should have come up, I would think.
I guess.
I figured after the sister, that would have been enough for him to be like, no, I've already lived in a world where my entire family died. You touched her. Everyone's got to go. I'm gonna just scorch the earth and salt the entire place where you stand. just figured that would have been the straw to just completely send him over the edge. But we got to show that he has more of a heart than just his family. But either way, anything else though on this chapter though for Descent? Nope. All right, we'll go ahead and move on here to the last one, the most loved one, the favorite of all, God of High School.
Yeah.
You love this. You know you want this.
You know I don't.
I do. You enjoy it so much. So
stop lying.
2 chapters.
A lot of fucking flashbacks.
I'd say about 1/3 of it, mostly flashbacks. Just actually,
no.
One chapter,
it was like half of it was at least flashbacks.
One chapter moved us all the way back to what I'm guessing is the.
It was like 2 seasons ago. All right, like.
It wasn't 2 seasons ago. They moved us all the way back to the fight in the underground with the remaining world government, like their stronghold, and we get a now discussion, half discussion, half fight between Q and R and McDonald, because apparently this dude has had just the constant murder boner for him ever since he killed him way back when. Yeah. And granted, this whole thing was just set up for the next chapter, just so that they'd have a reason that, like, oh yeah, R's here. But granted, we already knew that R was there. Or Q was already there.
Yes.
So I don't know why we actually needed this reminder. Like, because he was doing stuff.
We needed a reminder that, like, Bubong Park is a bad person, and he brought R back to life. So Q had to do this thing. It was like, hey, remember your family? Let me show you your family. Your daughter is right here fighting alongside me to protect you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, I don't care. It's not that I hate R, okay? I liked R, all right? But the point is, there was no point to this part of the story because it doesn't add anything anymore.
Well, it all culminated in him dying anyway because he's already dead. This is just
yeah. I was like, are you gonna show me that he doesn't die? No, he still died. Then what was the point of this? There was no point to this. Oh, great.
It was just me cleansing the consciousness so that everyone knows that he's gone. Actually, yeah. So part of flashback, part of a finishing off story arc for one character into the next chapter where it is a entire wedding sequence.
Yes.
Which you loved. I know we were so excited for that. And we get to see.
Why are we wasting time with a fucking wedding? All right.
Because the fans want to see.
I'm not even to say that like we're wasting time in the story in like the webtoon for a wedding. Okay, you can have the wedding on later. All right, like you can have a wedding chapter fine later. Whatever. I mean, priority wise, as in, okay, the world is fucking ending, and you're like, all right, I need to get married. You're like, wait.
It's been 17 years.
What
17 years. We can't wait till after the world possibly ends to not be married.
We waited 17 years to get married, but we can't just wait like a single day.
Nope.
I'm like, no.
No. We have to do it now.
It's not like the last time where like they got together and they were like, all right, we're gonna fuck before we go fight. And I understood that, right? This time they were like, no, we have to get married before we fight. I was like, no, if your plan here was to like, yeah, we gotta go fucking get married before we put our lives on the line again. I'm like, cool, I understand where this is going, okay? I understand where you're like, I need to
I understand where this is going. I understand your priority check here. I clearly see that this is more important.
But here, like being married is like this weird symbolic thing. I was like, it's not even necessary, especially since like they spent so much time with like the extra kids and stuff who were like talking about the marriage and stuff instead of like the actual marriage going on, and then it cuts back and forth between the flashback of the world being built and being destroyed. And I was like, all right, I'm just staying here. There was priorities, and you guys just ignored it, and I don't know why.
Because we needed to know. We needed to fill in that other gap and also make us forget those other things that have not been discussed or brought up yet that will somehow probably appear in the next like 5 to 10 chapters.
Ugh.
We still don't know where Satan is.
Man, there's so many things. There are other priorities in this story that can be taken care of, not this. Oh.
Yeah. So, I actually should take a look and see how many chapters ahead are there. But at least we now have supposedly the start of the finalist of final battles.
We now have the continuation of Dragon Ball GT is what this is.
Ow.
All right.
So low.
Man. Guys, don't worry. Baby decided to use the Dragon Balls and wish for Planet Tuffle. All right. So that's what this is. That's basically what Mookhyang Park did. And he was like, all right, I got an idea. What? I'm gonna make a whole new planet. And I was like, tell me this. Does making a whole new planet actually fix anything? I just need to know how making a whole new planet like actually fixes something than like another planet that you have there. Like you have a planet there already. And like it's not like he's actually making a whole new planet. He's literally just ripping apart the old one and putting a new one in its place. And I was like, you could have just fixed the old one. You literally could have just fixed it. I don't understand.
He aspires to the Thanos logic. I could make infinite resources, but no. Yeah. I'm not sure where this goes anymore, but hopefully we're getting close to an end. If this is supposedly the setup to that final battle.
Also, it's not like this makes Mookhyang Park any more of a threat. Okay, like I'm like he was already the biggest threat, and like the threat of him killing all of humanity and such, and like everything else is still just the same equal threat as him destroying the old world and making a new world. This does not raise the level of threat in any way possible. Because this is just going to do the thing where they did in Dragon Ball GT, where they're like, oh no, the old Earth is blowing up. Everyone move to the new Earth. That's all that's going to happen here. That's the only foreseeable way this is going to happen. Unless, like, I don't understand why we're doing this at all.
I think you know why we're doing this. I'm sure you can guess why, but yeah. So I don't think we've got anything else to say, at least on those two chapters. We'll see if what brings next, if the war actually does start. next week, or if we get something else in there. I should probably be doing just like side reads of this. But yeah, with that does bring us all the way to the end of this episode. I think we've got everything we needed to say out, and I think Ark is ready for a nap, possibly. He seems pretty worked up.
No, I'm hungry.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, he needs to be fed. My bad. Anywho, thank you all for joining us on this latest edition of the Project Webtoons podcast. As always, you can find our links down below to the link tree, where you get access, or you'll find access to our Discord, our Facebook page, our Twitter, all other social medias, as well as links to our audio podcast for this. And as before, as always, definitely hit that like button down below if you enjoyed the content that you saw. Please definitely leave some comments as well. Anything that we probably missed, or anything that you probably certain or liked about any of these chapters. As always, if you're the biggest fan of God of High School, please leave some arguments down below for Ark. We need him to battle some folks out. I really, really would like to see that go down. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and sign us off here as your big man. It is Sleepy.
And this is our Dragoon out.
Hey, everyone take it easy out there.